September 1966. The Austrian monster already fully formed. His psychological makeup, his fucked up mindset, his life's agenda, all locked and loaded. Nobody, not one fucking person sensed the magnitude of his vision, not even close. Social as he seemed, aggressively extroverted as he was completely alone with his ambition. A one-man cult, leader and sole follower of the Church of Me. He distanced himself from his family. Women were interchangeable wet holes. Even Busek and Colombo were kept at subtle distance. Places in his heart they'd never visit. Rooms in the mansion of his ego forever locked. Unlike most bodybuilders who looked ridiculous in their bloated skin suits, Arnold fit perfectly into his enlarged self, had a manner that made him seem bigger than he was. What normal people heard as disgusting boasting, he considered honest recitation of truth, as he saw it. For a man with an ego the size of Austria, he could be weirdly perceptive towards others. Not because he gave a shit about them, but because he hunted for value to extract, what he could use, what he could steal. He learns from other people, said Albert Busek, stating the obvious. He has the ability to pick up the good things like an elephant, who with his trunk pokes into anything that's important and sucks it in. A human elephant, trunk swinging, poking into other people's lives, sucking up anything useful like a psychological vacuum cleaner. His focus was extraordinary, from an exercise to a casual conversation. Locked in because even trivial moments could lead to something bigger. That bigger thing led to something even bigger, the domino effect of pure ambition. When a companion ran to catch a tram, Arnold kept at his steady pace, prepared to wait for the next streetcar. Trying to gain weight, not good to jolt his body, his passport to the future. That's the kind of fucked up detail that tells you everything. Won't run to catch a tram because it might interfere with his gains, with his passport to the future. This is why we're doomed as a species, because men like this exist, because they rise to the top, because they focus every cell on getting bigger, getting richer, getting more powerful, at the expense of anything resembling human connection. And we reward them for it, make them movie stars, elect them to office, worship them as earthly gods at the altar of their focused, empty ambition. The kid boards a metal tube at Munich's Franz Josef Strauss Airport, 19 years old. First time flying, scared shitless, 2 hours to London. He'd never been on a plane before, never been to London, never seen real bodybuilders outside the smudged black and white pages of the muscle magazines he jerked off to at night. The monsters waiting for him in London, that's what everyone warned him about. The bodybuilding world, an incestuous clusterfuck of rival federations, each crowning their own version of physical perfection. Mr. World, Mr. Universe, Mr. Olympia. Nobody outside this circus knows which title means what. The kid will eventually win them all. Fact. But first, this contest, Nabber's amateur Mr. Universe. His goal since he first wrapped his Austrian fingers around cold steel 4 years earlier at the Graz Athletic Union. Other titles already under his belt. European powerlifting champion and other bullshit accolades. He calls them Mr. Thises and Mr. That's, stepping stones made of fool's gold. The kid knows exactly one English phrase, rehearsed the entire flight. I would like to go to the Royal Hotel, please. The universe throws him a bone. 2 Munich businessmen across the aisle, heading to the same hotel. Free taxi ride. Wrong Royal Hotel. Of course it's the wrong fucking hotel. The universe doesn't hand out easy victories to Austrian teenagers with delusions of muscle grandeur. The desk clerk, Seeing this freakish kid with the bizarre accent about to cry, calls another taxi, sends him to the right address. This time, unmistakable. 50 human veal cutlets loiter outside, their shoulders twice as wide as normal thanks to padded jackets. Deception is the first lesson of bodybuilding. The second lesson is that you're the real monster here. They've been waiting to see if the rumours were true. 20-inch arms on a 19-year-old European? Unheard of. They swarm him like flesh-hungry zombies, grabbing at his arms, chattering in languages he's never heard. The attention feels good. But these dudes with the funny haircuts from India and Africa confuse him. He's never seen a black man with frizzy hair before. Welcome to the world, asshole. Among the rubberneckers that day was Jim Charles, British gym owner, contest judge, watching the kid arrive. Arnold whips off his shirt and flexes while Charles takes pictures. Your audition for the big leagues. Later, he'll buy you breakfast because you're broke. Baked beans on toast. This detail matters. Remember it. Someday you'll be rich enough to buy England if you want. After the impromptu gun show, the kid checks in, spots some Americans from muscle magazines. Up close, they look smaller than their glossy photos. I began to feel I could beat them all, he remembers thinking. Pride setting you up for the fall. Then Chet Yorton steps out of an elevator and Arnold's little Austrian heart sinks into his little Austrian balls. Until that moment, our boy truly believed 230 pounds of body weight and 20-inch arms were his ticket to glory. One look at Yorton, the reigning Mr. America, and that delusion evaporates like piss on hot concrete. Yorton started lifting after a car crash nearly cost him a leg. Yorton's different. He was, in Arnold's stunned assessment, a special creation of science. Golden brown skin, every muscle defined, mapped with veins. Europeans don't look like this. Black and white magazine photos can't capture it. Even as he stood there, slack-jawed and humbled, he vowed to duplicate it, to surpass it. But not today. The next morning a new problem emerges. Money. As in, he had none. He watched the other freaks pack away mammoth breakfasts. Eggs, bacon, sausage, toast, porridge. The fuel needed to power superhuman physiques. Meals that cost more than he could afford. The hotel dining room might as well have been on the moon. Jim Charles, taking pity on this broke Austrian kid, treats him to a breakfast at a neighbouring cafe. He was really hard up, so I bought him a coffee and baked beans on toast. Charles would recall years later, he still owes me the money. Must be all of a couple of bob. You'll owe Jim Charles for those baked beans forever. A couple of bob. But this is the last time anyone will ever pay your way. The Royal Hotel Ballroom. Quiet as a funeral home. A handful of media parasites, bodybuilding hacks, and Federation officials all pretending this is somehow a legitimate sport, and not just men in underwear being evaluated like prize cattle. The real competition, the part that actually matters, isn't the glitzy stage show with the spotlights, music and screaming fans. It's the prejudging. The afternoon evaluation where judges with clipboards silently circle half-naked men like vultures inspecting roadkill. One by one, the judges call them out. Short class, medium class, tall class, examining them in groups, then individually, making little marks on their score sheets. Secret marks. Marks that won't be revealed until the big show, when they announce who has the best collection of lumps on their body, determining who lives and dies in this world. Arnold watches the judges, silent predators. When they called him forward, he catches the glint in their eyes. Enthusiasm. Their silent stares, their cryptic nods. He was doing better than expected. But then, he noticed something. He was the tallest in the tall class, but Chet Yorton posed last. Late registration, they said. Bullshit. Posing last burns your image into the judge's retinas. A trick, Arnold thought. A typical American trick. File this away like a prison shank when it's your turn to fuck someone else. Next night, Victoria Palace Theatre. 3,000 bodies packed in to witness the verdict. Arnold didn't see them. He was backstage pumping blood into the muscle, listening to fragments of English he barely understood. Sauna before competition, wringing yourself dry like a dish rag, tensing for vascularity, whatever the fuck that meant. When another German translated, Arnold had his first epiphany. Bodybuilding wasn't sport, it was a very complex science, a game of deception and illusion, a con job with muscles. The announcer's voice boomed, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, the new sensation from Germany, Mr. Europe, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 19 years old, first international competition, let's give him a great welcome." The crowd's noise hits him like a shotgun blast. Nothing like the tepid clapping at those pissant European contests where judges fall asleep between poses. This was the big leagues. 3,000 people screaming, the Victoria Palace Theatre cramped with bodies and noise and expectation. He felt his body threatening to lock up. Career-ending paralysis. To save himself, he fixed on a spotlight high in the ceiling and fired his first pose. The applause swelled. The warm rush of adrenaline and worship, the drug he had chased for the rest of his life, flooded his system. When his routine ended, he didn't want to leave. The applause hammered his eardrums. Nobody knew who the fuck he was, but they wanted more. Someone shoved him back out for an encore while the crowd screamed for more. Maybe he'd done the impossible. First time out? First place? Then Chet Yorton walked on stage. From the wings he watched the American hammer at his poses like a machine. Each muscle tensed and defined. Bang, bang. Yorton's calves popped like diamonds. Arnold had never seen a bodybuilder flex leg muscles before. In Europe, it was all about chest and arms, the showroom muscles, amateur hour. But Yorton flexed everything, his face, proud and relaxed, said only one thing: "I am the winner." When the judges handed out the trophies, Yorton easily won the tall class and first overall. No surprise, the guy was a walking anatomy chart. Yorton had won the battle, but the war? That was just beginning. Second place, a rookie, 19 years old, standing on the podium at his first international competition. This was unheard of. Everyone in that theatre knew they were looking at the future. Arnold would hold that trophy soon enough. That's what separates champions from everyone else. They see excellence, acknowledge it, and immediately commit to reaching that standard. A Spanish millionaire in Chelsea flips through photos of a 19-year-old Austrian posing trunks, like shopping from a catalogue, like ordering meat. $1,000 for a weekend. In 1966, that's real money. Fuck you money. Sell your soul and smile money. Mr. R, that's what we'll call him. Not gay, he insists, just generous. The way Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't a cannibal, just hungry. Helmut Riedmeier makes the introduction, playing pimp to tomorrow's governor. Just relax, he tells the kid. Use your imagination. Your imagination. Like it's a creative writing exercise. Like you're not about to rent out your Austrian ass to build your American dream. This is capitalism without the metaphor. Supply meeting demand. A body worth worshipping meeting a wallet worth emptying. The kid splits his time. Days at Wag Bennett's gym, building the product. Nights at Mr. R's house in Kent, selling it. 2 steaks at dinner, never one. The client likes to watch him eat. He likes to watch the meat go into the meat. He did extremely well out of me, Mr. R will say decades later, chain smoking in the same Chelsea flat. Still has the photos, still remembers the prices. As if exploitation only flows one direction. As if the kid wasn't running his own con. As if power isn't about who's on top when the lights go out. Here's what nobody admits. Every fortune starts with stepping stones that leave bruises on someone's knees. This is how legends begin. Not with virtue, not with valor, with calculated surrender to whoever's check won't bounce. Empires built one weekend at a time. You sell tomorrow by renting out today. The kid's daddy issues performing live for paying audiences. Estranged Austrian father replaced by living Spanish wallet. Bodies are currency. Dignity's a luxury the poor can't afford. Opportunity smells like expensive cologne and sounds like zippers opening. You want to judge? Go ahead. Judge from your cubicle. Judge from your failed marriage. Judge from your life you didn't have to fight for. The kid knew what every champion knows. You can't climb a ladder without getting your hands dirty. Sometimes you get more than your hands dirty. Sometimes you get your whole soul dirty. But soul's washed clean when you're governor, when you're a movie star, when you're worth hundreds of millions. That's the beautiful thing about money. It's the best bleach there is. You think those motivational posters in gyms across America tell the truth? No pain, no gain. Conquer your limits. Try no shame, no fame. Try suck today, success tomorrow. They don't print those on tank tops. The kid learned early what most people die never knowing. Everything's for sale. Everyone has a price. The only question is whether you're buying or selling. In Kent, in a millionaire's bed, tomorrow's governor was selling, wholesale, and business was good. The future Mr. Universe, the future Mr. Olympia, the future movie star, the future governor, all of it built on Spanish money and English shame and Austrian hunger that gnawed like cancer. The kid knew it, Mr. R knew it, Helmut knew it, and now you know it too. Sweet dreams.
I gather Jimmy Savile fixed it for you. Is that
What
true?
did he fix?
Apparently Jimmy Savile was a judge the first year that you won Mr. Universe. He may not even know who Jimmy Savile is, it says down here.
You know who was a judge at the Mr. Universe contest?
Jimmy Savile.
Wag Bennett was a judge
Really?
at the
Was
Mr.
Jimmy
Universe.
Savile a judge there?
I-
How's about that then, guys?
1 year, exactly.